Hey everyone, welcome to Stories on Sunset. This is Sreth, sharing my stories as a concert journalist in Los Angeles, um, living the great life on the Sunset Strip. What I'm doing is raising funds for all my favorite venues that are currently closed due to COVID-19, and raising funds. Whoa. Had the YouTube up for a little bit there. Don't mind that technical difficulties. Anywho, um, uh, so yeah, what I'm doing is I'm raising funds for uh my favorite venues in LA, as well as the Corazon Cinema and Cafe. Some of them are closed, and some of them reached their goals, which is the Troubadour. Congratulations on the GoFundMe campaign. Um, but you'll see the links on the bottom of this video on YouTube, which is for like the Viper Room, the Satellite, Whisky a Go Go, Rainbow Bar. They're open now, so go and grab some food and drinks from there. They're pretty awesome. Tonight's episode of Stories on Sunset happened at the Whisky a Go Go, and I was covering the Rockstar Energy Drink Mayhem Festival press conference there. And I reached out to Adrenaline PR, my friends out there. They always hooked me up with all the coolest shows in LA at the time. I lived out there. Um, and it was pretty neat, I'd have to say, because it was like my very first experience going to a press conference that was packed with all these rock stars like Five Finger Death Punch and Huntress and Butcher Babies, Rob Zombie, John Five, and they were all there, like just there, which was pretty awesome. Uh, the Sunset Strip part of it was barricaded off or sectioned off to have all these bands and rock stars and such being escorted by none other than the Hells Angels, which was pretty gnarly because I had my Huntress Thompson moment there. I didn't get beat up by the Hells Angels, but it was pretty cool to see them work security there. And I would hear stories of like by the fans like, "Hey, do you guys know who those guys are?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course. It says Hells Angels on the back of their vests. So why, it's like on all of them." But I minded my business, and it was cool around them and everything like that. And they were kind folks, they were just giving a nod. And I had like my credentials, and I walked into the Whisky, and I linked up with all the folks from Adrenaline PR, and to let them know that I'm here and I'm ready to interview whoever wants to be interviewed. And my very first guest was Jill from Huntress. She recently passed away, but it was cool to sit down and talk to her about music. And we had to go upstairs and conduct the interviews because it was so loud on the main floor. And it was like the coolest thing. Like I just saw, like, I remember seeing like vinyl records and their covers on the walls and everything like that. So if you want to check out that interview, it's located on the bottom of this video on YouTube, which is pretty neat. We talked about who she was looking forward to seeing on tour and all that good stuff. And then my next interview, the fine ladies at Adrenaline PR, they go like, "All right, Five Finger Death Punch is next for you." And I'm like, "This is so cool. I get to interview Five Finger Death Punch." I remember hearing them on the radio and such. And so I got to interview him, and I was like really like a rookie journalist out there. Like I didn't know that I should use to pull out. I need to your press kits to pull off questions. I was just asking like a regular general questions. Just I don't know, but they answered them, which was pretty cool. And I remembered I was all Wu-Tanged out and everything like that, like from head to toe, and I asked both Jill and Five Finger Death Punch to give me like a Wu Manchu Chronicle shout out, which happens every Monday. But now I'm focusing on the locals of Strathfest. But uh, but their shout out was pretty awesome, and I remembered like towards the end, um, they it was like really loud in the hallway, and one of the guys, I can't remember, he had like a beard with like braids and stuff. He kind of reminded me of like Pirates of the Caribbean, and he just shouted out for them to be quiet because we were conducting an interview in here, and I put it at the end of the credits on that interview, and it was just hilarious. They're really cool guys, and I Ivan's a cool cat and everything like that, and yeah, and it was pretty neat. And then on the way out, I remembered of leaving the upstairs area. I saw Rob Zombie, and he was getting ready to be interviewed by Rolling Stone, and I'm like, man, one day if my publication gets as big as Rolling Stone, I hope to interview Rob Zombie or something like that. But which was pretty neat. I ended up getting to ask Rob Zombie a question when I made my way downstairs to the main area. They were getting questions from the audience, and I'm like, "What's your favorite horror movie?" and stuff like that. And of course, I knew that he was making horror movies at the time. Um, but it was pretty neat to talk to see all those guys on stage and just taking questions from the audience and stuff. My friend Chrissy Warner, he used to play drums for Butcher Babies, was there in attendance, and they performed that night with a couple other bands. And remember him playing there, and I walked the red carpet, and they had like their backdrop with all the logos of like Rockstar Energy Drink Mayhem Festival and all that stuff, and meeting another local band. I think they were a local band. They had to be, anyways. But I didn't cover their show in California, but I did end up covering the Mayhem tour in Colorado at Fiddler's Green. I think they call it Fiddler's Green. I'm not sure if they always change the name, but I'm always going to call it Fiddler's Green. And backstage, I got to interview Butcher Babies and John Five and stuff like that. And I took my buddy Nate to that show, and I had him photograph it as well. And we conducted like a bunch of video interviews. But that's on my YouTube channel too, so you'll see a bunch of Butcher Babies and John Five and Five Finger Death Punch and Jill Janus from Huntress and all that stuff. And yeah, it was like a pretty cool experience to have like my Huntress Thompson moment, because my style of journalism is just like his. I call it like I call it Tiger style after the Wu-Tang Clan. It's like AP style plus Chicago style multiplied by Gonzo style, and all of a sudden you got Tiger style, and it's like finding peace and chaos and all these concert experiences and stuff. And but yeah, that's my pretty much my Five Finger Death Punch Jill from Huntress story from the Whisky Go-Go. And as a friendly reminder, there are GoFundMe links and how you can donate to all the cool venues in LA, and the Corridon Cinnamon Cafe is beneath this video. And every Sunday night I have Stories on Sunset. And next week I will be talking about the time I met the cats from Warner Drive at the Viper Room. So looking forward to showing you that story. And hopefully we raise more funds for the Viper Room and the Whisky and all those cats, and have them reach their goals, because they were my safe havens in LA, and this is my way of paying back all those cool places. But yeah, I have two guests in the room, so if you'd like to ask a question about my experience with Five Finger Death Punch and Jill from Huntress, feel free to ask. We'll put it up for 30 more seconds, I guess. Hopefully you can type that fast. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed my story with Five Finger Death Punch and Jill from Huntress at the Whisky A Go Go. It's been a pretty interesting trip to hang out with the Hells Angels at the same time too. So cheers to all those folks. And my name is Trethne. This is Stories on Sunset, and have a good night.